I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed for several reasons. One, I'm supposed to be at the gym right now. Two, YouTube is messing with my morning news video. I'm well aware that there are large black sections where you don't see any of the visual portion. When I watch my video on YouTube, it looks fine. When I watch the file here on my machine, it looks fine. But apparently, for everyone who's not me, you can't see stuff in the morning news. So we're just going to kind of do something a little different here this morning. I'm going to share my screen. So, as an add-on to the video that really wasn't this morning, geez, what was that? Okay. That goes X-ray flux. We have had X4 solar flare. The X part was kind of impulsive there, wasn't it? Let's look at it, shall we? It's going to come from the big sunspot group, and moreover, it's going to come from the backside of the sunspot group. And I'm going to zip ahead. Oh, it's going to come from the backside of the sunspot group. Did you see that there? Boom. Come on now. That one doesn't look like it produced much of a CME either, does it? So, another X-class solar flare. This is the last 7 days here. Let me zoom in on that so we can see it a little bit better. But none of this has launched anything. I mean, this is what we were talking about last night. None of it has launched anything meaningful at the Earth. So there's that. By the way, guys, appreciate all the comments or anything. I'm not watching them. I'm not answering questions. As soon as I'm done doing what I need to do, I'm going to the gym. But yeah, so we've just had an X4 solar flare. Another one of these preposterously boring solar flares, if I may. In terms of the stuff that we didn't see this morning that I'm sure you probably wanted to see. Let me go get that. This is the paper I was talking about, which you apparently didn't see. Big group of people here. What we're looking at. I thought this was really cool, by the way. Oh, come now. And so this is the graphic that we were supposed to be looking at in the morning news. I'll make it a little bigger so you guys can see it here. So we know that the solar wind, it doesn't just come and hit wherever. When it hits Earth's magnetic field, it is funneled around to the polar region, but there's polar cusps, holes in Earth's magnetic field where the plasma of the solar wind just comes in, at the polar region. When it comes down into like this polar arc, the auroral electrojet lighting up these field-aligned currents, basically in this blue and red ring you see right there. Very much like the auroral oval. Once this happens, that energy is directly injected into the ionosphere, okay? And we want to remember what the ionosphere is. It's this charged layer up at the top of the sky. But more importantly, for the purposes that we're discussing, it is the sealing of the up and down global electric circuit that runs throughout the entire atmosphere. Once this is charged up through that global electric circuit and via geomagnetic induction, we start seeing magnetic changes at ground level and electrical changes, geoelectric changes at ground level as well. Basically, everything involving solar forcing of the atmosphere, and even down into the ground. So we're talking weather, long-term climate, seismicity, volcanic activity, and then everything in between, which I guess I mean us. You know, this would be all the health effects. And the whole point is that for decades, all of solar forcing of the terrestrial condition has taken the form of this, oh, well, there's this decadal lag because basically the sun dumps most of its energy down into the stratosphere. And then there's this trickle-down effect, this top-down effect. Everything that we have been talking about regarding solar forcing, and whether that's climate, health, earthquakes, any of that, it involves the much more rapid electromagnetic particle forcing. And this is how that energy gets down all the way, spread around the globe and all the way down to the surface and beneath the surface very quickly. We're talking at most several minutes time scale, but veteran observers, many of you might remember, some of these connections are virtually instantaneous, nearly light speed, simultaneous effects seen when the solar wind hits and in the ionosphere and at the ground level. That's why this is important. And as Earth's magnetic field weakens, allowing Earth to be more vulnerable to this particle energy from space, much more than the light. Remember, I hope you're stacking these teachings on top of one another, or else what are we doing here? All of these connections, they're going to get worse in the magnetic pole shift. The other thing we were doing this morning, all right, we'll pull this up from yesterday. This is me telling everyone we're going live. Let me just repost that we are going live. Okay, so let me find him real fast. This is the guy we were talking about this morning. Here's what I can tell you. We are definitely seeing something like a record collapse of the Chandler wobble. This is not unlike when it kind of collapsed a few years ago. What's harder to tell is if the implications that he and several others are drawing from this are accurate. And here's what I mean by that. You can find anomalies in the record, and parsing out a pole shift from a couple of days or a couple of weeks of data, I wouldn't say that's as solid as, you know, counting on your fingers things you see in front of you. And I don't think Zach would tell you it is either, if I can be perfectly honest. We definitely have something peculiar going on here. We definitely have something peculiar going on here, but exactly what that is, yet to be seen. So he is coming, by the way. You know, I'll make myself little again. Got to do that over here. All these links are there in the morning news, and all of these links are down in the description box below this video here. He is coming to the micronova week, Echoes in Time. Hold on. That's not the way I was supposed to do that, was it? Okay. There we go. That's what I was supposed to do. So, the micronova event. We're having some technological struggles this morning. Echoes in Time, April 17th through the 21st. Zach is going to be there. So a lot of you guys are upset that you didn't get tickets to Pole Shift with ethical skeptic Roger Cunningham. Micronova weekend is now Micronova and Pole Shift weekend too. Outside of that, opening weekend with Adrian D'Amico, all of the Master the Disaster classes, and the climate event with Chris Martz. middle of the summer. All of those are 25% off with the code SOLAR. Please come out and see us at Observer Ranch. There's a lot to do. It's a lot of fun. Outside of that, guys, I'm so sorry that you guys didn't get to see the morning news. I hope that this was a fairly good replacement. That's pretty much all we discussed in the morning show. I talked a little bit about some sunspots, but who gives a damn, really? The area I was pointing to that still retained the Delta class, that's what had the X4 solar flare. Would have been nice if you had seen it, but you don't need to. That's the area on the sun that's flaring. You got to see the paper and what I was going through with those 4 lines and how the electrical energy is rapidly injected into the Earth system when we take space weather. And then we've got Zacharias, noticing that we have a major anomaly in true polar wander right now. It's fascinating. And I think that we're a few days away from disaster? No, I don't. But this is the kind of thing where little nudges, like little jerks in a direction, that if they weren't just jerks, if it was a jerk and completely stayed at that acceleration and that much of an anomaly, we'd be screwed. But it's little anomaly jerks. And I think that's another one of these. And it is a sign of what we all think it's a sign of. It's just not as imminent as some folks are thinking that it is. Outside of that, come see us at Observer Ranch. Good job on all of you who are signing up for the survival course.